Welcome back to WT Fit. It is update time. This is after 3 weeks. Update number 4, week 3, I don't know, whatever number we're on. This is gonna be a quick video. I don't have like a lot of content to share about anything in particular. Just gonna tell you how last week was, and hopefully you can tell me how your week was if you're doing this with me. Let me know along in the comments. Let's do this thing together. So diet, nutrition, that's the most important thing. This week was probably the worst since I started, but still way better than before. I didn't cheat or anything, like I didn't have a cheat meal like I have allowed myself to do in the past when I try to be healthy this week, but I also wasn't like as super clean as like week 1, for example. But I did do well. I was very happy with sort of how I ate throughout the week. You know, my family goes out to eat maybe once or twice a week, or we do takeout now during the pandemic. So I've been trying to go places where I can get salads, because I really do like salad, like with grilled chicken on it. But you can get yourself in trouble with toppings, you know, bacon and cheese and all that kind of stuff, and dressings especially. So I had a few salads this past week that probably weren't super healthy. Fuller made a whole bunch of pulled pork, and he brought like a pound of it over to my house, and so I ate a bunch of pulled pork yesterday, which, you know, as far as paleo goes, that's kind of what I'm doing for diet and nutrition. It kind of fits, but I probably, you know, you shouldn't eat portion sizes that are too big. But man, Fuller, your pulled pork is delicious. Fuller is a trained chef, by the way. And Fuller's doing this with me, he said. So we'll need to get an update from Fuller, how he's doing. So nutrition went well, but I could tighten it up if I wanted to. One thing, though, to talk about is I have not cheated or had a meal where I ate whatever I wanted in 3 weeks now, which is one of the longest periods of time I would say that I have gone without doing that. What I typically have done in the past, like when I make a commitment to being healthy, is I allow myself maybe one meal a week where I eat anything and I just pig out. I haven't done that yet. I have a birthday. My birthday is coming up. Today is August the 10th. My birthday is August the 13th. So maybe I will allow myself to indulge on my birthday. That would be the first time in almost a month. So what are your philosophies on like a cheat meal? How do you do that? How do you approach that? Do you let yourself eat anything you want, like once a week? Something like that. I'm basically waiting until like I'm really craving it, and I haven't really been in that place yet. So let's talk about exercise for a second. If you've paid attention to the last few videos, you know that I've kind of been running as my exercise, pretty much it. Just go for a jog in my neighborhood. A couple miles is usually what I do. I went on a run on Monday, and my left ankle was about a mile and a half in. My left ankle started hurting pretty bad. It wasn't so bad that I couldn't run or walk on it, but I'm not training for anything in particular, so I didn't feel like it was worth it to try and keep running or push myself. So I walked the rest of the way home, which wasn't very far. And it kind of hurt to walk on it. And then the next day it was pretty sore. That would have been Tuesday. And then throughout the rest of the week it felt fine, but I didn't really do any exercising on it, any running, just because I don't want to push it. I'll be 41 in a few days. And I know, you know, if you're my age or older, you kind of understand how your body doesn't just bounce back like it used to, especially if you're in a situation like me where you're overweight or obese and you have not been active in recent history. I think it's just not smart to push yourself too far too soon and risk just these nagging kind of injuries that hamper you. So I took the rest of the week off. Today is Monday. I'm planning on trying maybe to go for a jog today and see how it feels. Okay, let's talk about measurements. I stepped on the scale this morning at 243.3 pounds. That is right around 10 pounds or 10-ish pounds less than where I started 3 weeks ago. Last week, if you remember, I weighed in actually less on Monday. So my weight has sort of stabilized, and it kind of went up a little bit this week. Actually, all throughout the week, I weighed myself, and it kind of went up and down and up and down. So at one point, it was down to 240, and then it went back up to 243. That kind of stuff can be very discouraging. If you just live and die by what you see on the scale, it can be very discouraging, because your body and as you do this, as you go through this, your weight will fluctuate all over the place, and that can be due to any kind of various things that are going on in your life. So if you base how you're doing and how you feel emotionally based just on the scale, like day to day or even week to week, it can be discouraging, and I'm having to remind myself of that. So it's not something I'm too worried about. Overall, I've seen 10 pounds-ish of weight loss in 3 weeks, which is really good. I'm very happy with that. And over time, what you want to do with looking at the scale is you gotta look at it over time, over a longer period of time, like months, not just week to week. The other thing I've been tracking as I pull it up here is measuring around my waist, around the largest part on my stomach. And when I started this 3 weeks ago, I measured at 46.75 inches. Last week, which would be 2 weeks after the start date, was 45.5. Today was just over 45 inches on my waist. So I went down, just under another half inch this past week. So that is actually a far better indication of how things are going than the scale, which can fluctuate a lot. So I'm very happy about that. So we're entering into, getting to about a month in, and it is at this point, this is the point, actually probably next week would be at the point where I have found it very, very difficult to stay consistent. Usually for the first 2-3 weeks, you're so motivated, and you see such, when you start something like this, especially coming off of, if you're really not doing, your lifestyle really isn't healthy, you'll see a ton of weight loss because you drop a lot of water weight. If you start exercising, it compounds that, so you see, and then things start to sort of level out about 3 weeks in, and progress gets a lot slower. It's not actually slower, it just is perceived to be slower. And I have found in the past, this is where I get frustrated, or where it's just like, I just want to eat whatever. It gets hard to keep making meals, because that's a big part of it. You have to prepare your own meals. And so this is where things get hard. If you're in that boat, let's encourage one another. I am encouraged, though. I said in the very beginning of this thing that I had lost hope, or I thought I had lost hope. At this point, I'm starting to get a twinkle of that hope back. Is twinkle the right word? I don't know. Anyway, I kind of am starting to believe in myself. Where the rubber will hit the road is if I have a week or a situation where it's like I fall off the wagon. And how will I respond to that? Will I be able to get back on the healthy lifestyle? Will I be able to make it a lifestyle, not just a temporary thing? Time will tell, and I will hopefully tell you in future updates. This has been the WT Fit update. If you're just seeing this video for the first time, the whole point of this thing is for me to sort of chronicle living a healthy lifestyle, because I feel that it is important biblically, and it is important for us as church leaders to lead by example and do the things that the Bible calls us to do, rather than just talk about them. And I've talked about this a lot, not publicly on the internet, but just to friends. And I'm tired of being a person who just talks about it and doesn't really do it. So this is sort of the make or break thing for me. If I fail, I'm going to do it publicly, and you're going to see it. So anyway, hope you subscribe if you want more updates. Let me know how you're doing. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.